Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the channel. Josh here with Aegis Armaments. Today, in no particular order, I wanted to go over my top 5 reasons I think everyone should own an AR. Let's dive right in. So, of course, guys, we live in a world today, the unfortunate reality, property crimes and home invasions happen.
Says he grabbed his gun and scared the group of men off. What he didn't expect is gunfire was exchanged. This all was caught on surveillance cameras. Fox 5 reporter Eric Perry is live outside the home in Clayton County. So Eric, what happened?
Yeah, Tom, Christine, honestly, what happened, that group of men picked the wrong house code to try to burglarize here. You can see the evidence on this BMW from that shootout, just riddled with gunfire. That man said he just wanted to make sure his wife was protected.
I'm noticing a young man running from my neighbor's yard across my front lawn into the middle of the street to meet up with 2 other gentlemen.
One of the men made a near fatal decision.
Sprints of my driveway. I can see on camera that he's hunched down, wearing a gray hoodie, and he's got some kind of firearm in his hand. Grab my rifle, head outside.
With flip-flops, pajama pants, and no shirt, this veteran went to war to protect his wife, who was hiding inside. At one point, he kicked off his flip-flops, races inside, puts on clothes, and comes back out. He says he didn't have time to be afraid. Only time to act. He also says that after the gunfire really erupted, they tried to break into neighbors' homes to escape.
It's up to us to be as prepared as possible. One study was showing that in 2019 there were 6.9 million property crimes, 1.4 homes invaded. 25% of those home invasions, people were coming through the front or back door, with most break-ins happening from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., which to me, the stereotypical break-in seems to happen always at night. So I guess criminals are changing their tactics. They're attacking during the day, which is unfortunate because it's more than likely the time when your loved ones are home and you're at work. Most break-ins today, to me, seem that they have more than one intruder, which of course calls for a much higher capacity magazine. Also, being a rifle with a larger bullet and not a handgun, if you do live on a larger property, it's going to allow you to defend it much more efficiently. Living out in the country, you may have livestock or pets that you need to protect as well. The AR is an incredible system at keeping any unwanted pesky critters or predators away that you don't want around. Regardless of where you live, you need a good system to take care of any home invasions or threats on you and your family's life. With the mag size and ballistics of the AR-15, you have a much higher chance of defending any intruders, multiple of course. So unfortunately, it seems 50% or more of the country does not trust in the government anymore. The Second Amendment is constantly under attack with misinformation and falsehoods.
We still need to ban, in my view, AR-15 firearms, assault weapons, once again.
Always reporting on the criminals and never the heroes who protect the life successfully with this weapon system. A tyrannical government to some people seem on the horizon, and to some impossible, with some skeptics in between. To those people who it seems unlikely to, wait until we're all unarmed, divided, and relying completely on the government for our protection. Disarming us and dividing us is the first couple of steps in that direction, and it happens all too frequently.
Some men are born great. Others have greatness thrust upon them. For you, this is that very moment.
Theodore Roosevelt said to speak softly, carry a big stick, and you will go far. In other words, fairness and mutual respect is the first and probably most important step in a non-combative confrontation. But have a big stick. Other words, a weapon that people actually respect. In case it's not reciprocated and the situation goes badly, you'd rather be prepared than not. As more legislation is presented, trying to either take items off of the AR or just prohibit the entire rifle itself, the hysteria can really cause the demand of the system to go up, and of course with that, the prices skyrocket. Which of course is a great reason to get one now, better than later. Be ready to express your rights and your liberties to live however you choose, and remember, enemies can be foreign and domestic. All that being said, I think it's a great reason to get an AR while you can, being equally or greater armed than the bad guys. There is an estimated 20 million AR-15s in circulation right now. Unfortunately, not all of them are in the hands of law-abiding citizens like we are. Which means, if you completely just rely on a handgun, you could find yourself not only outnumbered, but outgunned as well. If you live in a state where the magazine size is already regulated, it's even more important to have a caliber that will be as effective as possible, and the 5.56 can be an extremely devastating round. We hear it all the time. I would also like to add that with approximately 20 million AR-15s in circulation, if the government implemented a buyback program and only gave $500 per AR, it would be $500 million, presumably of taxpayer money. It's more than likely, though, that all of the AR-15s purchased before the deadline that they would give would be grandfathered in, which would absolutely cause the prices to significantly shoot up if they were even obtainable by someone who didn't have the system when they were grandfathered, so possibly causing them to not even be obtainable anymore. And all this is, again, more of a reason to get an AR-15 before they're all just in the hands of the bad guys who won't listen to the laws that any agency makes up anyways. Make sure that the edge you have comes from all the training you do. It matters. Alright guys, let's talk about the next reason, and it being how multifunctional the system really is. Of course, it's a very easy system to accessorize however you want for any job you have in mind, whether it be hunting deer, hunting coyote, recreational or competition shooting, and of course, home and personal defense. With the 16-inch barrel right here, as I've got a decent optic, even just a red dot, you're easily going to be able to reach 300-400 yards, which is giving you plenty of range in my opinion, especially in the area that I live. A lot more mountains here. I don't have a lot of stretches where I have to reach out more than that, or would need to, so it gives you plenty of things the system can exceed in doing. Of course, there's all kinds of ammunitions you can choose from. Do your research on them and kind of try to choose the best for the job at hand. You of course have the option of switching the upper to different calibers. Depending on what you're switching to, of course, you may have to change the lower receiver here. If you're going to a smaller size caliber, all you have to do is get an adapter. But other than that, it's a modular system. You can switch it up fairly easy. It's of course a very easy system to learn and use. With the gas system and the buffer spring, the recoil management is incredibly easy, of course, especially with all the contact points you get on your body in comparison to a handgun. It makes for a very stable system. Overall, the AR is going to give you a good versatile system that's easy to learn and clean. And regardless of what some politicians may say,
you know why you don't hunt with an AR-15 with a deer? Because there's nothing left.
It is an effective hunting tool. And again, if you like competition shooting or recreational shooting, it's a very fun system for that as well. So of course, civil unrest has to make the list. Whether it be due to rioting, pandemics, inflation to a breaking point, global tensions spilling over onto U.S. soil, and of course, the possibility of natural disasters, and honestly, the list could probably go on. If resources become scarce, I believe all throughout history, it has shown people's dark sides come out when things get less than good. Not even horrible. It seems like anymore if people are just inconvenienced, their dark sides start coming out. It's always the best option to call the police first, of course, unless there's a complete collapse of society and it's not worth calling. However, in a serious situation where a lot's going on, the police force may be too overwhelmed if they can ever even get out to you to respond. With cop budgets under attack in several states and an increase in time, the chances of a later response only increases. In times of crisis, you need the ability to be able to place the protection of you and those around you in your own hands, especially in times of civil unrest or societal collapse. It's important as a society that we stay armed, but not only do you need an AR-15, we need strong, capable minds that are free-thinking and able to tell the difference between right and wrong. Before we ever go into arming ourselves, we need to be armed with the mind first. All this being said, not to cause hysteria or bring fear, but awareness on current situations. And of course, my top reasons on why I think you should have the best tools available. Obviously, there's a million reasons one should own an AR-15. These are just a few of the most important ones in my opinion. Hopefully I've concreted the opinions of those who already have an AR and maybe convinced some of them who haven't quite yet pulled the trigger to go ahead and obtain one for themselves. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. You guys have a great day.